Today on Max Handy Gadgets, we're reverse searing a boneless beef ribeye steak by Stampede Steaks for less than $2 each. So let's get started. Alright, for the steak we have a nice boneless beef ribeye, right? And it comes in a 3-pack of steaks. And can you believe it? This 3-pack of steaks from Walmart only costs $5.50. That's less than $2 a steak, right? You can't beat that, guys. So if you see them at Walmart or if you can order them online, just go ahead and get them because they're pretty good. And you know, if you have like a large meal, you know, maybe 10 people coming over or something, this wouldn't cost that much to feed all of them. You know, give them a nice steak each, add a little side, and you're good to go. Now let me see if I can show you the box here. They're nice ribeyes and they're by Stampede. Can you read it? Right there? Beautiful. Okay. Stampede Steaks, right? Remember that name because I think there was a larger box that Walmart had that actually was pretty much the same price. But I don't know if they have them here where I live, you know, so maybe they might have them where you live. There was a larger box of these, you know, maybe 6 steaks, I forget, 5 or 6, and it wasn't that much more than this, so that would have been a really good deal. But I think they're out of them in our area here. But these are still available at Walmart, right? So just go ahead and pick up a box, and I can't believe the price. So we're going to try them out here today and see how good they are. So we're going to get one out of the box here and reverse sear it, and then we'll have a good taste of it, right? But let me show you what's in the box. They come in nicely packaged and they're frozen, and there's 3 of them in there. Can you see them? Okay, there's 2 down there and one top. So that's how they come, and we're going to get one of them out of there, and we're going to go ahead and reverse sear it, and then we're going to fry them up in our cast iron skillet. Doesn't that sound good? Okay, let's get to it. We'll put these aside. Okay guys, here it is, our nice frozen ribeye that we took out of the package, right? A box of 3. And we let this thaw overnight in the refrigerator. So to make it nice and tender, we're going to tenderize this up. But first we have to get it out of the package, right? So let's do that. Alright guys, here's our nice boneless beef ribeye steak by Stampede Steaks. And it really looks pretty good, doesn't it? And it has a nice soft feel to it, so it should be pretty tender. And it's pretty thick. Nice. It'll make a nice steak for, you know, 1 person. Now you could make 3 out of that box, right? For $5.50, how can you beat that, right? Now we're going to tenderize this nice ribeye even more than it already is, right? Yep. We're going to go ahead and use our OXO brand meat tenderizer, right? It has all these nice little knives that come out the bottom. Can you see them? And it's going to make that steak really tender. All right, let's do it. Okay, that looks really good. Now we're going to add some nice coarse kosher salt and put that on there. Make sure you put enough. Okay, let's pat that in. All right, now we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side, just like this. We'll get our meat tenderizer and we'll go to town on it. Okay, now we'll take our Morton's kosher salt and we'll put it on that side. Make sure you get enough. We'll pat that in. Okay, now we're going to take our nice ribeye steak and we're going to put it right on top of this rack right here. Can you see it? Just like that. Beautiful. And we're going to take that and we're going to put that in the refrigerator uncovered for 24 hours to let that dry brine and let that salt do its magic. It's going to pull out that moisture, then it's going to go back in that steak, and then when we go ahead and reverse sear this up, it's going to be really tender and nicely flavored, right? So let's do that. We'll put this in the refrigerator and I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Okay guys, here it is. Look at that steak. Boy, doesn't that look good? Now that's been salt dry brining for 24 hours in the refrigerator. And look how dark red that got. And that salt did its magic. It pulled that moisture out of there and it went back in. And it is nice and firm, but yet tender. And it'll definitely be really tasty when we reverse sear this baby up, right? Okay, let's go ahead and transfer this whole thing to a nice cast iron skillet. Okay guys, now we're going to take our nice steak, right? And we're going to transfer this whole thing right into our cast iron pan, just like this, with a rack. Alright, here's our Stampede brand boneless beef ribeye steak. And we picked it up at Walmart for $5.50 a box, and you get 3 steaks in each box. So that works out to be about $1.84 per steak, right? And that is reasonable. So if you want to get a couple of those boxes, you know, check out your local Walmart, right? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this in a preheated 250-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until we reach an internal temperature of about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Now, if you want to do yours a little bit more rare, pull it out at about 105, or a little more done, pull it out at about 115, right? All right, let's put this in the oven and we'll pull it out at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, let's go ahead and put it in there. Okay guys, here it is, right out of the oven. Doesn't that look good? Now we pulled that out of the oven at about 110 degrees, right? So let's just go ahead and check it with one of these, a meat thermometer, and see how we did again. All right, I don't know if I can get this in the shot for you, but I'll give it a try. Can you see it? 110, 111, okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get that out of there and let that steak rest a little bit, and we'll put that aside, just like that. Beautiful. Okay, our steak is done resting, so we're going to go ahead and set our burner to medium-high. Okay, we're going to add a little oil to the pan, and we'll let our pan get smoking hot. Okay, our pan's smoking hot. Now we're going to take our nice ribeye steak, and we're going to put that right in there, just like this. Now we're going to quickly sear that on both sides, and it should be done. Maybe 1 minute each side. Okay, let's see how we're doing. It's been about a minute. Okay, it's looking good. Okay, it's almost a minute. Let's see how we're doing. Beautiful. Wow, that's looking good. Okay, that should be done. Let's go ahead and shut off our burner. And let's go ahead and get that out of there. And we'll put that right on a nice cutting board, just like this. Boy, doesn't that look good? Look at that steak. Now, how can you beat that for like under $2, right? Beautiful. Okay, let me go ahead and put this aside and we'll let it rest. Okay, and while our steak's resting and this pan's really hot, we're going to make a nice au jus. So we're going to take about a half a cup of red wine, drinking wine, not cooking wine. Put that in there. Okay, now we're going to add about a half a cup of beef stock. Put that in there. Now we're going to add a quarter teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and about a quarter teaspoon of rosemary. Put that in there. Stir that around. Okay. Let that reduce down a little bit. Okay, it's reduced down some, and that's about done. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and shut off our burner, and we'll go ahead and put that in a nice pitcher. Okay, we'll take a nice Pyrex pitcher, and we'll go ahead and pour our au jus right in there. Okay, beautiful. Okay guys, there's our nice Au Jus that we made. Now this will be okay for 1 or 2 steaks. Now if you want to make it for 3 or 4 steaks, just go ahead and, you know, double this recipe and you'll be good to go. Alright, let's have a taste test. I can't wait. Let's get into that nice, delicious Stampede steak. Boneless beef ribeye. Alright, let's have a taste. Okay guys, here it is. Our delicious Stampede boneless beef ribeye steak. And we picked it up for less than $2. It'd be like $1.84. Can you believe it? Now let's get into this and see how it tastes. But first we're going to add just a little bit of salt, not much. And a tiny bit of pepper, right? Because we like our pepper. Now I really just can't believe how cheap these are. So let's have a taste and find out how good it is, right? And then you guys can go out and pick up a couple for yourself. So let's get into it and see how it is. Alright, let's have a taste. I'm going to cut this piece in half over here. And then we'll go in half here. And then we're going to go in half right in the middle, like right about here. Alright, let's just go ahead and have a taste. 'Cause I'm curious of how that tastes. Is that tasty? You're going to love these. We'll have another taste. Man, that fat's perfect. Beautiful. Is that good? Okay guys, there you have it. Our delicious steak. And that turned out pretty darn good. And it is a cheap steak. It's only like $1.84. So go ahead and cook them your way, and you'll probably end up with a really nice steak. Now this is a little more on the medium side than I would like, but it really does taste good. Okay, there you have it guys. A delicious boneless beef ribeye steak by Stampede Steak, and it tastes pretty darn good. So if you want to pick up a couple of these, just go ahead and try them and cook them your way, right? And you know what'll go good with this since we're having it for dinner? You guessed it. I'm having a nice glass of red wine with this one. And that does sound good. But you know what I almost forgot? Our Au Jus. Yep, that Au Jus is really good. Don't forget to make that. Alright guys, if you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Delicious boneless beef ribeye steak. And it's a Stampede steak. And it costs less than $2. That's what's for dinner tonight. That sounds good. We'll have another taste. Yep, that Au Jus is really good. Is that tasty? You're going to love these.